So next topic is matching of the pump characteristic curve. The pump manufacturer always gives the head discharge, that is HQ characteristic curve for their manufactured pump and operated under different test conditions. And these test conditions are basically the lab operating condition. But in actual operating condition, the pump is required to operate different conditions with respect to the suction and discharge pipelines, elbows, and number of valves. It means in actual condition, the pump has to overcome the static head and the friction head loss in suction as well as delivery pipes and connected fitting, etc. Normally, for a particular application, the static head is constant, but the friction head is directly proportional to the q square, where the friction head is given as FL q square upon 12.1 d raised to 5. This is empirical relation stating the relation between the HF and the q square. Okay, and we are working on the manometric head HF. So manometric head HF basically is what? Static head plus friction head. Static head is constant generally, but friction losses are varying with the discharge condition and different friction in a pipes, fittings, elbows, and wall pressure. So the actual operating condition are much varied, varied or different from the lab operating condition. So therefore, the user So therefore, the user of the pump find out his system requirement and head discharge curve is drawn. The curve is called as system resistance curve or system characteristic curve. We can see the system resistance curve in a figure. This curve, which is pump curve, which is supplied by the manufacturer at the standard operating condition, and this is a system curve, is drawn by the user side at actual normal condition or actual operating condition. Okay, the point where these two curves are matching or superimposed is called as the operating point, and this operating point should be higher side of the efficiency. Again, this point means at intersection point, the particular pump or system, the pump, it should be cover the maximum area or maximum variation from head and discharge. If you consider this is operating point, the maximum variation will be starting from this point, means we can say the area under this curve, okay, means area under the maximum area under this curve will be covered, means maximum range of this head and discharge will be covered at this operating point. Depending upon this operating point position, we are having the classification of the pump, which is supplied by which is supplied by the manufacturer. It is undersized pump and oversized pump. Okay, so we can see clearly in undersized pump, the area under the both of the curve is not generally covered, or which is a minimum area under the curve which is covered. So it is called as an undersized curve. I mean, this is a particular, this curve is given by the particular manufacturer, and this is our actual requirement of system curve. If we match these two curve requirements, we will get the operating point over here. But at operating point, this is not near to the maximum efficiency, and the area under this curve is not too much variable, or we can say that it will not cover the too much area under the curve. So the operating condition of H and Q was very poor. And this pump is not cover maximum range of this particular head and pitch. Then next classification is your oversize of pump. So we can see here, this is system curve, and this is the requirement of the this is a pump curve. We can see the both area under the curve, or this is never superimposed to each other. So system requirement are less, and the pump is supplying the higher range of head and discharge. So this type of curve or this type of pump is called as a oversize of pump. Means depending upon this matching of the curve, we can select whether we are to accept that particular pump supplied by the manufacturer or not. Again, it will give the guidelines to that what are the which type of head and discharge ranges would that particular pump would cover from this particular supplied by the manufacturer. Again, it will give the comment whether we have to select the pump for our requirement or not. So this is a matching of the curve. Then we have to just remember the pump curve is given by the manufacturer. This is standard conditions, and system curve you have to draw using the given HQ relation, means head and discharge correlation. Then next one, we are going to solve the numericals on this particular matching of the curve, means how to calculate the efficiency and how to calculate the discharge, or how to calculate the manometric head and specific speed. Okay. So first numerical is that a centrifugal pump is running at 1000 revolution per minute, that is RPM is given, gives the following relation between head and discharge. So discharge meter cube per minute 0, 4.5, 9, 13.5, 18 and 22.5. With respect to the discharge, we are having the head 22.5, 22.2, 21.6, 19.5, 19.6, sorry, 14.1 and 0.0. Because this relation between discharge and head is given by the manufacturer. So this is the data, or this relation between head and discharge supplied by the manufacturer. Then the pump is delivering water against the static head of 15 meter, that is static head is given 15 meter, and the total required system head is static plus friction plus velocity. It is given by, means there is a relation is given by head versus discharge, that is head versus q square. Okay, and this 19.98 into 10 to the power minus 3 q square is the friction head basically, because manometric head is given by hm is equal to static head plus friction head, and the friction head hf is given in terms of q square. Okay, so we already studied that this hf is directly proportional to q square. So whatever this constant over here, fl upon 12.1 d raised to 5, this given as in this numerical by 19.98 into 10 to the power 3 q square, where q is in meter cube per minute. So there is no need to convert this unit over here. Determine the discharge in meter cube per minute and power required to drive the pump if its overall efficiency is 75%. Means you have to calculate the discharge and power required to drive this pump. Now, so given data already we have discussed over here, and you have to find out these things, Q and power. So first of all, for the pump, we are having the values of discharge and head. This manometric head basically uh, given as per given the numerical, but for the system you have to calculate the head over here. Discharge value will be the same. For the discharge value, and using that correlation given in the numerical, you have to calculate the H for the system, that is H plus 15 plus 19.8, 98 into 10 to the power minus 3 q square. By putting the discharge value over here, initially 0, then 4.5, then put the q is equal to 9, then q is equal to 13.5. By putting the value of q is equal to 18 and 22.5, you will get different respective value of the H at different q. So we'll get the head over here 15, 15.40, 16, 18.64, 21.47, 20.11. Now we are having the two different tables for head and discharge, one for the pump and one for the system. Now we are going to plot this on directly graph. On the graph, okay, we have taken on the y-axis there is a head using suitable scale, and you have considered the two on x-axis using again suitable scale, and using these values, discharge versus head. First of all, you're going to plot the curve for the pump. Okay, you will get in this kind of curve over here. Okay, for different value h and q, we are getting the curve for the pump. Again, same from the second table, head versus discharge curve, we are getting the this curve for the system by plotting actual points. Okay, let's say I will just show you here. Let's say I have to plot discharge 4.5, 22.8. So discharge 4.5 over here. So somewhere 4.5, and you have to plot the discharge 22 point something. So it is 22.2. We'll get the 22.2. Accordingly, we can pull out every point from the two tables, and you will get the two types of curve, one for the pump, one for the system. The actual intersection point of this curve on the graph, actual graph, is called as operating point. Okay, you have to just take the one vertical projections and one horizontal projection on x and y axis respectively, and you have to just take the discharge value at operating point, that is q is equal to 14, and head is something 19 something. Okay, so between 18 to 20. So at the Q is 0.023. Actually, this Q, it is given in 14 meter cube per minute, but while actual calculation of this Q, we have to calculate this Q in terms of meter cube per second. So we have just convert it, and head is given as 90 at operating point. So at operating point, we are getting this Q and H values, and you have to put this Q and H value at operating point on the graph in this equation or in this formula of overall efficiency. Then you get the power over here. Okay, so it's very simple. The basic procedure, you have to just first of all take this particular given table, then again you have to find out the tabular value for the actual HM, and you have to just plot the curve, and at the intersection point you have to find out the respective values of discharge and Q, and for further finding out the any value, that power, efficiency or specific speed, you have to use this head and discharge value at operating point. The next numerical we will study the test on the single centrifugal pump running at the constant speed gave the following result. Q liters per minute discharge is given in first row, then manometric head is given in second row, and efficiency is given in third row. Okay, so two such pumps are installed to run in parallel with the common suction and delivery pipes for a static head of 6.4 meter. The friction and other losses are given by 2.02 Q square into 10 to the power minus 6, where Q is in liters per minute. Calculate the discharge and power required when only one pump is used and two pumps are used in parallel. So initially we have to find out this discharge and power required, that is input power required by using only one pump, and second case we have to find out by using the two pumps over here. Okay, so there is a relation is not given directly, but we can find out the relation for the actual condition, that is manometric head is static head plus this particular friction head. So HM is equal to 6.4 plus 2.02 into 10 to the power minus 6 Q square. Okay, then we solve. So first of all, you have to find out the Q and P for the only one pump, and Q and power for the two pumps in parallel. So system H manometric head is given as HS plus HF. So 6.4, 2.02 Q square into 10 to the power minus 6, and the discharge value are the given. So at each of the discharge value, by putting the in terms of this equation Q square, at each of the discharge value, you will get the different head H over here. Okay, so one head versus head and Q value are given in the table along with the efficiency, and this is a second. So we are going to plot the curve. Now along with this head and discharge, we can plot the efficiency curve also on the same graph. So we can see over here, by taking, you have to just initially take the y-axis for the manometric head HM, and then x-axis for the discharge, and one same axis along with the y-axis we can take the overall efficiency also. Okay, so efficiency over here, one scale for the efficiency parallel to the y-axis. So initially we can just plot the system resistance curve, one for the pump, that is head versus discharge, and one for the system, that is head versus discharge, and separately we can plot the overall efficiency curve, because this efficiency we can take Q versus efficiency also, or HM versus efficiency also, but Q on y-axis, so Q versus efficiency. So we can plot this Q versus efficiency curve. Okay, so this is the third curve. So always remember, the efficiency curve is extra curve, but we have to find out the intersection point at the operating point. Or we have to find out the intersection point, that is operating point on the intersection of the pump and system curve only, not the efficiency curve. So in this case also we have to find out the intersection. So this is a pump curve over here, and this is what system curve. So you have got this particular operating point. After finding out the operating point on the graph, the first step is that you have to take the vertical projection and you have to take the horizontal projection to find out the discharge at operating point, to find out the head at operating point. Okay, so we can see at vertical position, the vertical projection is cut or intersect the efficiency curve over here. So at operating point, we can get the efficiency also. If you measure this efficiency at operating point, we can see here, this is the intersection of operating point over here. So efficiency at operating point near about the, if you take exactly horizontal line, so it is about the 72% something. Okay, and head at operating point is 8 something, 7.9 something, and discharge in LPM is something 880. or something. Okay, so we have got the at operating point. First of all the discharge, then head, and by the point where the vertical projection intersects from the operating point, intersect over here at efficiency. So it is your overall efficiency. So three value we have got from this operating curve. So from the graph at operating point, manometric head is 7.9 meter, Q is 865 liters per minute, that is meter cube per second, 0.0144 meter cube per second, and overall efficiency is 72%. Now, the power required to drive the pump is rho g QHA upon T. That is overall efficiency, output power upon input power. So we have to find out this input power P. By using this, we can get this value. Now, the second case is what? When the pumps are in parallel. And for this pumps in parallel, whatever the Q is given, we have to just multiply by 2. So initially, if you see, the Q is 0, 2 to 5, 455, 680, 910, and 1135. This is for the single pump only. And if you take the two pumps in parallel, then definitely this discharge will get multiplied by 2. So 0 into 2, 2 to 5 into 2, 455 into 2, 680 into 2, 910 into 2, and 1135 into 2. So you will get these discharges over here. So 0, 450, 910, 3, 1360, 1820, and 2270. And respectively, by taking this Q value and that particular relation, this one relation H. Now, initially you find out for the single Q. Now we have to find out this Q. Okay, means we have to find out this head, manometric head at actual condition by using this Q. That is Q dash is equal to 2 times Q. You will get the manometric head. A similar procedure again you have to follow. So plot the graph using these values over here. Okay, so head will be the constant for the pump value. Okay, for the pump value there is no change because in parallel combination head is not going to change. So initially it is 12.7, 12.5. So similarly, in this case also you are getting the same head because in parallel combination only discharge will get changed. Head is not going to change. So this is a curve for the pump, or this is a values for the pump that is supplied by the manufacturer. Now second case we have to find out for the system curve data. Means the Q again multiply by 2 and then we will get the head in terms of this relation. So instead of the Q now, we have to take the Q dash value over here. So 450, 920, 360. And by putting this value respectively, you will get the HM now for the system. And then again you have to plot the curve. One for the pump, one for the system, and one for the efficiency. Again we have to take the vertical projection from the operating point, then horizontal projection from the operating point, and you have to find out where the intersection of the vertical projection from operating point to the efficiency curve, and you have to measure that efficiency over here, that is 76.5. So at operating point we will get HM 10.25 meter, 2 is given. Okay, and overall efficiency also you have to find out 76.5, and then you'll get the power over here. So we can find the power is 3.045 kilowatt. Okay. So now we can see initially power is 1.5, and for the two pumps the power is simply double, 3.045. So this is a system characteristic curve and you can find it out. Now next variation will be what? Instead of the parallel combination, they may ask to calculate the same problem for the series combination also. So in that case only HM will get means multiplied by 2 now. It is not getting multiplied by this Q. So next in series combination, this HM into 2 for the given table. Okay. So this is a variation in system resistance curve, and this is the numericals on the centrifugal pumps. Okay, graphical and both analytical. So please do practice from the study notes. These are the numericals where it's covered all of the variations in the numericals. If you do the practice, then it's definitely help you out. Thank you. Thanks a lot.